Welcome into the Week 6 Fantasy Recap, and we'll just get right into her. Another crazy week. Starting with Redraft. Gumpy Glizzy's 3-3 defeats Bills Mafia 1-5. 167.24 to 144.05. Gumpy Glizzy's avenges Bills Mafia's only win of the season and beats them 2 weeks later in a very high-scoring affair. Gumpy Glizzy's uses Dak Prescott, Matthew Stafford, and Darrell Williams to score the most points they've tallied all season and to effectively boost the record to an even 500. Cortland Sutton continues his hot streak, eating up 25 targets, 15 receptions, 216 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the previous 2 weeks combined. Bills Mafia keeps trending downwards, though their team isn't doing that bad. A trend of terrible luck and high-scoring games continues for Bills Mafia. Nico's League 4-2 defeats Ben Stiller Virginity 3-3, 142.73 to 95.8. Nico's League uses a big day and a game-winning touchdown from CeeDee Lamb to propel past Ben Stiller Virginity and improve to 4-2 on the season. Nico's League will have a tough test next week to get through the heavy buys Week 7 has to bring. Ben Stiller Virginity couldn't cash in on many points from the Zeke Eckler combo like they did last week, and ends up falling to an even 500 at 3-3. With both of those two on bye next week as well, Ben Stiller Virginity will have a hard battle next week against 5-1, no pun intended. Leftist Tears 5-1 defeats Scoop the Delinquent 1-5, 191.61 to 148.8. Behind big performances all around, Leftist Tears easily handles Scoop the Delinquent in an extremely high-scoring affair. Kirk Cousins started slow but used overtime to post a respectable score, and Cooper Kupp continues his dominance with a 130-yard, 2-touchdown performance. Scoop the Delinquent gets unlucky again and tallies a loss on the record after scoring upwards of 130 points. Scoop will have to turn it around quick to make a run at the conference championship. With the win, Leftist Tears evens the only all-time series they were previously losing to anyone in the league. Leftist Tears also notches the third highest score in league history, only behind 2 scores that were in the 190s by the infamous Team CD3. No pun intended 5-1 defeats Washington Rednecks 2-4, 110.11 to 107.1. No pun intended may want to send a heartfelt message to Nike for making sure Josh Allen's cleats couldn't grip on the Nashville natural grass surface just a couple hours from NPI headquarters. That's exactly what sealed the game for NPI, as any form of Josh Allen touchdown would have turned the tides, and an overtime game would have more than likely ended in a Rednecks win. But for the Washington Rednecks, the weakest links were the 5 pass catchers, averaging only 6.4 points apiece. They will need to bounce back next week against non-conference foe, Scoop the Delinquent. Our redraft Week 7 game of the week is Nico's League 4-2 versus Gumpy Glizzy's 3-3. This should be a fun matchup between non-conference opponents. We will get to see how Nico's League fares without Najee Harris, CeeDee Lamb, Mike Williams, and the Steelers defense. Interestingly enough, we're moving into the Week 7 power rankings here. Interestingly enough, there is absolutely no movement in the Week 7 power rankings. So nobody moving, but we'll start from the bottom just to go through it again. Scoop the Delinquent at 8, at 7 Bills Mafia, at 6 Washington Rednecks, at 5 Gumpy Glizzies, at 4 no pun intended, at 3 Ben Stiller Virginity, at 2 Nico's League, and at 1 Leftist Tears, with absolutely nobody moving. The exact same rankings as last week. Now into Dynasty. Stratton Oakmont Inc. 2-4 defeats Cumber Dynasty 4-2, 160.67 to 136.48. And what surely is the upset of the year so far, Stratton Oakmont Inc. shocks Cumber Dynasty with nearly the same amount of points they scored last week. Over those previous 2 weeks, Stratton Oakmont Inc. has totaled a whopping 327.89 points. They needed a quick turnaround, and they succeeded. Now they'll be looking to keep the momentum rolling into the game versus I Am They next week. As for Cumber Dynasty, a 50-plus point QB performance from Josh Allen and Kyler Murray proved unused, and they fall to 4-2 on the season. Nico's Dream Team, 3-3, defeats Sneezy Raccoon 74, 2-4, 156.02 to 129.26. Running backs Jonathan Taylor and Joe Mixon lead Nico's Dream Team to a cruising win over Sneezy Raccoon 74. This is a great sign for Nico's Dream Team, as they prove they can win without needing Lamar Jackson to have an amazing day. Sneezy Raccoon 74, on the other hand, has been quite unlucky all season, with one of the best squads in the league. They'll need improved QB play and Mike Williams to step it back up to the level of play he was at earlier in the season. Prestige World 1 5-1 defeats the Scoob Empire 2-4, 176.74 to 90.14. Good thing this wasn't a real fist fight, because Scoob would have been 6 feet under after Sunday. Prestige Worldwide routs Scoob Delinquent by 86.6 points. Prestige Worldwide could have benched Dalvin Cook, Dak Prescott, Chuba Hubbard, Mike Evans, Jared Cook, and Odell Beckham Jr., and still won the game. Scoob, meanwhile, only had one non-QB score in the double digits, but surprisingly doesn't score the lowest amount of the week. It's an uphill climb for Scoob from here. They 4-2 defeats Gump Dynasty 2-4, 136.78 to 182.58. Absolute disaster week for Gump Dynasty, scoring the league season low 82.58 points. Nothing seemed to be clicking except for first overall pick Najee Harris, who was one of only 3 Gump Dynasty players in double digits. They took advantage of Gump's bad week and adds to their win total after scoring only 0.15 points above the median for the week. The Aaron Rodgers to Aaron Jones connection was deadly this week, as the two combined for a touchdown and 41.7 total fantasy points. They'll look to keep it going again against Stratton Oakmont Inc., currently on a 2-game win streak. Our Dynasty Week 7 game of the week. Prestige Worldwide 5-1 versus Cumber Dynasty 4-2. With Dak Prescott on bye and Russell Wilson on IR, we'll see how Prestige Worldwide does with Geno Smith at quarterback. Other notable buys this week include Prestige Worldwide's Dalvin Cook and Cumber Dynasty's Josh Allen. Week 7 power rankings for Dynasty, starting at the back, number 8, moving down 1 spot, the Scoob Empire. At number 7, moving up 1 spot, Stratton Oakmont Inc. At number 6, moving down 2 spots, Gump Dynasty. At number 5, staying put, Nico's Dream Team. At number 4, moving up 2 spots, Prestige Worldwide. At number 3, staying put, Sneezy Raccoon 74. At number 2, staying put, I Am They. And at number 1, staying put, reigning champions, Cumber Dynasty. Alright, thanks for listening to the Week 6 recap. That was a quick one, but we are on the home stretch of the regular season here. And we are, if you count the conference tournaments as regular season, we're halfway there now. We've only got the second half to go until the actual playoffs begin. And so, time to get those squads scoring points to win some fantasy games. See you next week.